Next up at UFC Kansas City, we have Aaron Phillips taking on Gaston Bolanos in a very weird fight. A very weird fight. Interesting matchup. A lot of weird narratives and things going on here. Aaron Phillips, 12-4 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, and he is coming back into the cage after almost 3 years away, and he's taking on a Bellator fighter. Gaston Bolanos, 6-3 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming out a knockout win at Bellator 11 months ago, and he had a 7-fight stint in Bellator. There's a lot of narratives going on here. Gaston Bolanos is a solid striker. He's got really good Muay Thai and a professional background. He's got solid power, a willingness to engage. His whole claim to fame, you can't do any research on this guy without knowing that he has more than one spinning back elbow knockout.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't see that in my research.
Well, you don't do which is explains the bets.
That's right.
That explains the bets.
That explains the bets. That explains that's why I'm hiding all weekend.
Well, I would hide.
Deleting all my bets, all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it does explain a lot. So if you did do research, you would know.
Just being a douchebag.
that one is actually a fact. He has more than one spinning back elbow.
That's one of those comments where I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna be falling asleep and be like, man, have I really been a douche lately?
And you're the one who lets things slide. I'm the one who dwells on things.
Right. Even my rant today, it wasn't like a super serious one. It did kind of annoy me about the transparency thing, but everything else is like, I don't give a shit. Like when you think I'm being a douche, and being an asshole, I'm just being sarcastic. I literally don't give a shit about it. I don't give a shit about anything.
You're a permanent troll for sure. Anyway, Gaston Bolanos, nasty kickboxer, professional striking background, is known for spinning back elbows. He has more than one spinning back elbow knockout in both kickboxing and MMA. And he's taking on Aaron Phillips. Aaron Phillips, again, coming back after 3 years away. He's a striker. He's also had an interesting MMA career because he's been a professional since 2011. He has 12 wins with 7 stoppages, but he cannot get a UFC win under his belt. He had 3 fights in the UFC since 2014, 2 decision losses. Most recently, he came back after a long time away, lost to Jack Shore, was submitted. Skill-wise, he is tough. He comes forward. He's got decent takedown defense. His takedown defense needs work, but he does have nice scramble skills and a get-up game if he is taken down. The reality is there's not going to be any takedowns in this fight. We have striker versus striker. I do feel like this fight is set up for Gaston to get a fun knockout. But the reality is he's coming off a 7-fight stint in Bellator. He's got 2 losses in his last 3 fights. I don't understand. His last 5 fights. He's a weird signing for me. He wasn't surging. He's got a couple of recent losses. He's pretty one-dimensional. I'm surprised the UFC's yes, sign him, throw him on. And this wasn't a short notice step up either, so it's not like he got that opportunity. All that being said, Gaston should win this fight. It's a striking versus striker. He's going to be the better striker. He's the more dangerous guy. Aaron Phillips hasn't fought in a few years. I mean, who knows? I hate when there's, that kind of layoff because somebody might come back looking great, but the reality is I don't think he will. The pick is Gaston for sure, and the only real meaningful bet here is under 2.5. What do you think, Jakey?
Yeah, I like the under 2.5. I don't know if Gaston's the pick for sure. I agree that he is the pick in this matchup because, 3-year layoff, there's no way you can trust that as a pick with your money. If you're doing with Gaston, you might as well just go all the way inside the distance because, as Angel mentioned, he is a finisher. The only thing that kind of worries me about him coming into this fight is in his losses, it's almost, he's a very confident striker. He's very confident. He's a very cocky striker. That's why he throws that spinning back elbow over and over because it lands all the time. He has good reason to be cocky with that strike. But when things don't really go his way, and he avenged this loss in his last win, but 2 losses ago, that rear naked choke, that guillotine choke, it was such a weird situation. He was kind of just standing next to the guy, put his head in, the guy kind of grabbed his neck, and he didn't really react to it. It's like he was kind of lackadaisical with the whole thing and had no sense of urgency when he was in that situation and got choked out. And yeah, that was a few years ago. He avenged that loss. But there's just certain instances where I see him in the cage where I'm like, I don't know if he really gives a shit that much. If things are going his way and he can do the Muay Thai thing because he is a very good Muay Thai striker, he's having fun in there. But the second things don't go his way, if he can't land that elbow, it's almost like he's just kind of loses, a will to fucking fight in there. So that is a pause for concern. But Aaron Phillips, as you mentioned, 3 years off. You browse his Instagram. And it's not training pictures, and it's not that he's not training, but it's family. He's got his own gym. He's doing that thing. So I think this is just kind of a promotion for his gym, get a check, that type of thing. But we'll see. I mean, I don't trust Gaston. He should win. But like I said, the last fight, the last whatever, there's probably better places to put your money.
Yeah, I like the under. I like the under for sure. Gaston could look exactly like we just saw Jacqueline Amorim look. We just saw Raul Rosas look. He could come in hot, be the much better fighter, dominate the first round, and then just break. Just break if he doesn't get that finish early.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of those situations, we've said it on a few cards before, where Gaston could end up being the best value on the card. Be like, oh shit, why didn't I pay the minus 195 for this guy? You've got a first round. Like, what am I thinking? Or it could be like, oh, good thing I didn't have him in my parlay.
Yeah, and between us, not like a secret, between you and I, I'm obviously I'm the more conservative one, so I'm not touching that. $7,000 in DraftKings, $9,200 in DraftKings. If you think Gaston's going to come in here and be the showcase fighter that I think the UFC thinks he's going to be, he's worth the $9,200. This is a sketchy card, another sketchy card. Every single line, I don't think there's a single 1.5 round line on this card. They are all 2.5 round lines.
They're all, and it's mostly because not that they're good matchups or people aren't finishers. There's just so many like tough fucking dudes. When we break down fights, there's so many like this dude's tough as shit. I mean, it's like every person on this card.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a card loaded with wrestlers. It's just, like you said, a lot of tough people. So anyway, I do think this one will go under. I think Gaston will win. I think he'll win by finish. I don't trust my money with that exact bet, Gaston by finish, but I do trust in DraftKings. I will probably have him in my DraftKings lineup. If he goes out there, puts on
definitely
a show,
for multi-entry for sure. He needs to be in a few.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that's it here. If you guys want to check out all of our bets, WeWantPicks.com, unlock those. And the tools. The tools are just as important, if not more important, to help you find your own spots at WeWantPicks.com. We have a $2.79 Canadian super chat from Wyatt Corm. Best duo in the game. 15,000 subscribers coming soon. Thank you very much, Wyatt Corm. Appreciate the super chat for sure. Appreciate the kind words. We should be at 15,000 very shortly. We're averaging more than 1,000 new members or new subscribers per month.
It's moving fast.
It is moving
I was
very,
looking
very
at
fast.
like the views last week. I don't know what they end up being, but I assume they're going to be over like 50,000 views for just last week with all of our videos combined and stuff like that. So
it's great. The numbers,
we appreciate all the fucking support, man. You guys are amazing. I know I went on a rant and was trying to kind of trash people earlier, but you guys literally are amazing. You guys are what makes this channel, and we're so appreciative of every single one of you.
With absolute certainty, 100%. Our numbers are insane. There are people with far more subscribers than us that have been around for longer, and we do better numbers. We do more views, more likes, more interactions. Our numbers are just better, and that's because of you guys. You guys are just literally a better community. Like you interact more, you watch our stuff more consistently. Like even when you hate Jacob, hate Jacob, you're at least commenting that you hate him. And then a $4.99 super chat from Sam Peace, Mr. Salamander. Thank you for the stream, even though bets didn't work out last week. This is a new week. Thank you guys for everything as usual. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Sam. It's funny because you mentioned that, and I mentioned it to Angelo too, and this is how invested I get with this channel, with my bets, with the live streams, with everything, is I ended that live stream after the Chris Curtis fight, honestly, which obviously did not go our way. I want to be transparent here. I had money on Chris Curtis. I had about $500-600 on Chris Curtis, so just let's full transparency here. But it didn't go our way, and I got so invested, and I felt so bad about my bets losing that I got done, and I went to bed that night, and I thought, I'm not going to live stream anymore. It felt like just
He literally texted me.
I literally texted Angela. I was like, I felt like I don't know if I'm going to live stream anymore, because it felt to me like it was just such a failure of a stream because I fucking let everyone down with all these bets. So I felt awful about it. And then Angela was like, no, dude, I think it was still entertaining. So I'm glad that you guys still
That's all. I mean, that's what the fight companions are. Straight entertainment. You bet your own money for a good time. And if people want to copy, great. And if they don't, that's great too. Like everybody's responsible for their own decisions. And the important thing to note with you, I'm not risky. Nothing I do is risky. That's why when I'm up units, I'm up like 1.5.
Well,
and when I'm down,
there's a little bit of a risk.
To the plate.
Choking, blood pressure, cholesterol.
Actually, I went to I got this freaking thing in my neck. I'm so healthy.
You're on steroids now, huh? Let's see a full flex.
I stopped taking them because I don't take them before streams because I sleep like trash. I'll flex because I sleep like trash.
Oh, you got a little cut in there too, huh?
Always. Yeah. That's the good arm. Anyway, blood pressure, everything. I mean, it's actually, I'm shocked. I was surprised. And then it's like, how much do you drink? It's like, just a couple.
They probably multiply whatever
a day,
people say by 20,
a day.
by 20 in there.
The only thing is I could like confidently say, do you smoke? No, of course not. Weed? No, absolutely not. You drink? Socially. Socially.
Not.
Anyway, let's go ahead and move this train on, Jakey.